Greetings everybody and welcome to another video. It is I, Umber Rays, caught in the middle of doing some actual Halloween recording when this happened. And boy oh boy, you better believe that I jumped right out of it almost and got down to making this video because this is a big one. This isn't even our live stream, like our big live stream announcement. That is probably coming very soon. But if you thought that they were only saving stuff for the live stream, well, you're incorrect, because first and foremost, he's coming. It's almost time. Dark Veritas, the final of the Veritas units, will be coming to the game in this next update. And by the looks of it, it's going to be a little bit different how we're going to be getting this character as opposed to all the others. It does look like a Lucio style quest where Lucio plus the Veritas units will be required on a specific quest to get, unlock, and upgrade Dark Veritas, which is pretty interesting. We've had almost a year now to build all of the Veritas units, upgrade them, and get their special equipment and everything. So now here comes the fruition to all of that hard work to get and complete the set. But if you said to yourself, hey Umbra, that looks pretty cool, unfortunately, that's just the tip of the iceberg, because we have not only one character coming in the game, we have two characters plus 2 vision cards coming in this update. This is an incredibly massive update to end the month of October, and probably just getting everything out of the way right before we get into the 5th anniversary. And look who it is! It's Nicole! It finally happened! I don't even know how long it's been since we originally hypothesized Nicole coming to the game. I guess about the same time as Ferris. But now it's finally here. So let's take a look at what we got. Now also, excuse me for the crudity of this video. I'm probably going to be doing some pausing, checking, and then coming right back and talking about more characters. There's simply just a ton to talk about here, and I'm gonna have a hard time getting through all of it. So first off, Dark Veritas. The final of the Veritas comes with Battle Axe as well as Dragoon Knight. Actually looks okay in terms of sub-jobs. I mean, he is basically wielding a massive greatsword, so I am curious about how that will work. Doesn't have his limit burst yet, as you would expect. But we do have 2 previews of abilities, so let's start off with the first one. Reduces a certain percentage of slashing attack resistance for up to 2 targets for 3 turns, then deals large damage and increases the damage the more HP you have reduced. Also reduces healing power. So an interesting ability. I mean, taking a look here, we're selected 2 targets. It's single target damage. It's supporting slashing type attacks, which is him, plus probably whoever's going to be on his team. And interestingly, reducing healing power, which was pretty good on Cypher. So I'm curious to see how this compares to what Cypher has been able to accomplish. Second ability, Dark Fighting Spirit, increases slashing attack power and area attack resistance for allies centered around self for 4 turns. Grants the effect of sealing the target's barrier destruction for 3 turns. When the attack hits, create a barrier that reduces physical damage 4 times for the user, and grants the effect of sealing target's buff removal for 3 turns when an attack hits for 4 turns. Mouthful, I know, but that's pretty great in terms of just a support ability. It's powering up slash attack characters. You're getting a lot of some defensive capability, as well as sealing barrier destruction, which means that barrier characters are going to absolutely love to be with this guy. And I mean, you're also sealing buff removal too. So there's a bunch of stuff that he is capable of giving to other characters. Not as flexible as maybe some other characters' abilities, but I think this is probably good enough for what it needs to be. And of course, this character will get improved. Now, talking about some other stuff to do with this, master ability is own attack up by 20% and single attack resistance penetration up by 20. So basically at this point, I can infer major slash damage dealer, is interesting with Dragoon Knight, but okay. Subs are probably important for reasons. And taking a look just at, I mean, single target seems to be his deal. And I gotta say, the armor on him is quite an interesting design. It actually reminds me quite a bit of Gilgamesh, even without taking too long of a cursory look on him. Looks pretty interesting. But we do have a little bit of info in the sub part here. The implemented from Wednesday, October 23rd, Eternal Dark Berries cannot be acquired through fragments in the barracks. Eternal Dark Berries can be trained at the EX job level 102, job level 16. Methods of acquiring job strengthening 17 onwards, and dream enhancements will be implemented in the future. So Dark Veritas is kind of interesting too, in the sense that his overall upgrade and progression is gated, probably more than a lot of the other Veritases at this point, because even his dream enhancement just isn't full. And I wonder if that has something to do with what's coming at the 5th anniversary. Could be interesting to keep an eye out. All right, so next, here he is, Nicole, the next FFB character. So if we're tracking progression linearly, I mean, probably by the 8th anniversary, Lid should be in the game for people who are keeping track at home. And, you know, why wouldn't you be? All right, if I can actually do this properly, taking a look at Nicole, who is the actual next gacha character. He does have a new main job, which is a book class, as we would expect. Spell, swordsman, as well as arithmetician are his sub jobs. And looking at his preview, we have first off a limit burst preview. I know, big surprise. Reduces water resistance of targets within range for 3 turns, deals magic damage extra large, and greatly reduces magic attack power and speed for 3 turns. So Nicole's limit burst is a large AoE. It has pretty good range on it that we would expect, but interesting, greatly reducing magic attack power and speed for 3 turns. In combination with Exia, this already seems pretty scary to go up against. Looking at the continuous ability that comes with it, so just scrolling down here, deals 2 consecutive large damage based on magic power. It is higher accuracy, I do believe, as well. Within range, removes HP absorption effect and haste, and reduces single target attack resistance penetration rate for 3 turns. After use, does have a following effect on it. And just really quickly, I just want to double check. Yes, it does look like it has something to do with accuracy, possibly heightened accuracy. And okay, taking a look here, secondary ability is an increased ally CT, very small, as well as some AP recovery. Interesting ability to look at. We have a large AoE for his limit burst, and we have another AoE with the cross style pattern. Doesn't happen too terribly often, but removing HP absorption effect feels like it will be pretty notable, given that a lot of characters do a lot of HP absorption right now, and removing haste too is a nice bonus feature. And then you're getting this secondary ability, which, you know, gives you a little bit faster turns and AP recovery. Seems pretty good. All right, from there, let's get into our next ability, which is, after canceling the effect that reduces magic damage taken as the distance increases, there is a chance the target will be unable to take any action for multiple turns, as well as dealing large damage. Now, the wording on this feels a little strange, so let me pause for my first time and check. Okay, so having checked, we are looking at a damage dealing magic attack that cancels the effect of, you know, the farther the target is. So basically cancels out Squall's style effect here, and does have a chance of stun, which feels like a lot on a single ability that, again, has a secondary effect. After the first ability triggers, the second one grants the allies the effect of reducing physical damage taken for 3 turns. And there's pretty good range on his 2 little follow-up skills, too. Pretty good chance that he will be able to cast it, not only on himself, but on other characters. And we're looking at a master ability of removing activation time for abilities and fire resistance. So how to even say this? I honestly think that Nicole just looks generally good in multiple situations, possibly with multiple characters, provided the VC support is there. But you look at this guy, he isn't exactly a healer. He's more definitely a lot of support, even with dishing out really high magic attacks. And I'll be curious to see exactly how strong this new water character is. And oh wait, there's one other thing to note here. He's 70 cost. What? An interesting development. I mean, to be fair, we've already gotten a Halloween character and a 100 cost character this month. So another character coming in so rapid is a little bit surprising, and does mean that he will be generally fairly easy to pick up at some point in the future. But with Halloween Alaya actually being pretty good, I am curious to see how this character's performance shapes out. He could be the next Lemire in a lot of ways, and that's pretty exciting. All right, from there, scrolling down, we actually have a VC, which, taking a look at this VC in 1 second. So our next VC on the actual docket right now, this VC, first off, artwork looks absolutely insane, and I love the idea of Wotv and Nicole being on the same card. It's be interesting to see how synergistic they actually are. All right, so for this, sword, red mage, staff, mentor, as well as gloves and book. So probably a bunch of different characters combinations that will work quite well with this in the mage category. I can certainly think of a red mage. But what do you get? Increased reaction block rate, as well as mental penetration rate as the party abilities. And guess what? It's a speed card. That's right, it is an agility increase for maxing out the VC. So pretty nice to get your hands on. And last but not least, increased critical damage. So a very nice offensive card that gets rid of, some reaction block. It's some heat speed and powers up mages. Seems pretty good all around. Now, as for the specific character that will have this card equipped, we are looking at magic power up, as well as increased resistance to single target attacks. And vision card mastery is for quest only, fire attribute killer up, and water attack up. So, pretty much a water support card, but for quests and not for PvP. But it's okay, because we have one last VC to look with, and wouldn't you know, it's a limited time VC with a special ability on it. So let's take a look at this Halloween one. And first off, shouting out the artwork here, which is great to see Alaya and Frederica on the broom having Halloween fun, very Halloween themed card. But if you look, Frederica's teddy bear and Alaya's stuffed cat are having a bit of a fight, which is very, very cute. I really wanted to highlight that, so that's great. Taking a look at what we get here, the vision card is for sword, red mage, spear, and mace, which is an interesting combination. Taking a look at the ability, wider, the attack range, the physical damage, the more physical damage reduction, and more human killer for magic attacks. As for maxing out the VC for duels only, increased magic attack resistance, as well as increased magical power. And the character equipping this will also get a magical power boost. For maxing out the VC for vision mastery this time, lightning attribute attack increased by 2, and magic damage reduction increased by 1%. So just taking a look at this without looking at the vision ability, excuse me, I have to say, this VC also looks quite good. Red Mage and as well as Mace, I could see some combinations there that will be quite good as the music dies out. It's back. Again, we're looking at protection against physical based attacks, which is really quite nice, and we won't say no to magical attack power up of just human killer and magic power, but also protecting you against other mages. I think this VC is really, really nice looking. It's not a speed VC. It doesn't necessarily need to be because it seems like it's already doing a bunch. And of course, we have a vision card ability too, which is, you know, the hallmark of a limited time card with respect to seasonal events. Witch of the Sleeping City. After reducing the target's resistance of targets in range to area attacks for 3 turns, deal damage based on magic power large and a chance of slow proccing on the targets, decreasing their CT accumulation. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I think that this VC is looking fairly damn strong if you're wanting to do anything with Halloween Alaya, but also this job grouping. There is some places where, like, there have been some new Mace characters and whatnot that would like this VC, and of course, into the future, who knows what characters will come out that look really great. I love the water VC. It's just generally nice. I don't think it's as imperative, but getting my hands on this, I would be quite happy since the VC checks a lot of boxes that could support characters by, you know, ticking that initial speed criteria. But then just taking a look at the 2 characters, Dark Veritas being an interesting method of acquisition where we are going to be acquiring him through a pretty free means, and not arena, not duels, not PvP. We're finally free of that, of Guild War, sorry. We're finally free of all of that, and we can now just be done and happy. Now, taking a look at Nicole, 70 cost is pretty interesting, and we'll have to see how he shapes out. But don't knock him quite yet, as 70 cost characters can be massively impactful, especially in limited time. And FFP characters are just really good. Taking a look at some other stuff, looks like Lightning Veritas will be getting her next upgrade, which, you know, about the time as Dark Veritas is showing up makes a lot of sense. We'll be getting Limit Burst upgrading quests. The next reliquary of Greatsword and Gun will be getting its upgrade, so it will be fascinating to see how strong those end up being, especially with the Greatsword being one of the more recommended weapons out there. The story will be getting a update to 13, or Book 3, Chapter 11, Part 1. Probably getting very close to the end at this point, but we'll see. And then, of course, that Dark Veritas quest, which we already mentioned. So yeah, massive update for the end of October before whatever is coming next. You can almost be certain at this point that it's probably going to be a resource drain right before we get the next anniversary stuff. So be wise, be careful, and don't get spooked. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. See you later.